roughly 6 months after the completion of his 2 terms as President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari's story continues to resonate with a nation that values honesty, accountability and compassion. It is an occasion to reflect on 13 top facts in the life of the former president, moments to remember as he quietly marks his birthday in his hometown, Daura, with clear directives that there will be no public events marking the occasion. The first thing to say is that he was born on the 17th of December 1942, in the historic town of Daura, now in Katsina State. His father was called Malam Hado Adamu, a Fulani chieftain from Domokol in Mayadwa local government area, and his mother, whose name was Sulayat, had Hausa and Kanuri ancestry. Buhari joined the army soon after leaving secondary school and had never worked outside the military until his retirement after the attainment of the high rank of a general. As an officer, he participated in the civil war throughout the period it lasted and did not, even once, to leave the front with excuses or frivolous reason as many had done. He did not suffer any injury throughout the war and was a participant in the coups and counter-coups that characterized the period of his service. He commanded all but one of the Army's 4 divisions, served as military secretary, a position he used to good effect, regularizing the records of all officers, and for which reason he got the shock of his life when, in the run-up to the 2015 presidential election, a politically motivated Army records officer said Buhari's secondary school certificate was untraceable, and thereafter becoming military head of state after serving as governor and minister, petroleum. 3. Buhari's election victory in 2015 was an important milestone in his political career, having run for the office thrice, each time ending up in the Supreme Court contesting the outcomes, before this time when won a decisive mandate, with his party scoring the highest number of seats in the National Assembly and the control of an equally high number of states across the federation. This victory marked the beginning of his tenure as the President of Nigeria, and upon the completion of his constitutional 2 terms, he handed over to another party man, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as President. 4. In the exercise of the powers of his office, President Buhari's approach to governance often mirrored that of a board chairman, emphasizing accountability, efficiency and performance. This was a good model. He hired the best hands he could lay his hands on, gave them the needed resources and the latitude of authority to give the best they could to the nation, although he never missed a chance to speak directly to the concerned ministers, permanent secretaries, heads of agencies and business leaders to remove bottlenecks. As attested to by at least 2 of his key ministers, Governor Fashola and Zainab Ahmed, President Buhari never called for a day, asked for personal favor or to say pay this or that person, give this or that contract to this or that other person. On a particular day, the president called Lai Mohammed, his Minister of Information and Culture, to ask for a favor. Lai held his breath as to what could this be. "How can I ask you for a favor?" asked the president, and the minister's mind began to race up and down as to what would this first of a kind request be about. "Yes, Mr. President, please go ahead." The president went on to say that he committed himself to an event in Lagos the following day and that he simply cannot go, and was wondering if the minister would squeeze out the time to go and then represent him. There and then, Lai's blood pressure de-escalated. Any minister who failed to achieve results under Buhari will never succeed anywhere. But as with everything human and political, these threats have both garnered praise and stirred controversy for the former president. 5. When he took power, he announced at the open ground of his inauguration that the command and control centers of the war against terrorism should relocate to Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, the epicenter of the Boko Haram ISWAP terrorism. By May this year, the military had ensured the liberation of all occupied territories from the terrorists, and the activities of the insurgents had been restricted to the fringes of Lake Chad and the Sambisa forest. Many erstwhile displaced persons had returned to their ancestral homes as peace returned to the hitherto conflict areas. The Buhari administration gave the nation a more gender-sensitive armed forces and ensured the acquisition of military equipment and platforms on a scale never seen since the Civil War. By his activation and relentless support for the multinational Joint Task Force bringing forces from Nigeria, Benin, Niger, Chad and Cameroon in the Lake Chad area, Buhari dealt a strong blow to cross-border terrorism. 6. On October 14, 2019, Buhari ordered the closure of all of Nigeria's borders with Benin, as well as those with Chad, Cameroon and Niger to tackle smuggling and associated corruption, and to also support the domestic industry. The government launched a massive rice production scheme, as well as that of 16 other commodities pioneered by the Central Bank of Nigeria under Godwin Ifeanyi Emefiele. Following the coronavirus-induced lockdown that brought the wheels of the economy to a grinding halt, the Buhari Food Production Program helped the government to achieve food self-sufficiency. There was no reported shortage of food, no hunger as widely anticipated. No bodies were picked on the streets as forecast. Thanks to that vision, the agricultural initiative improved the income of farmers, economic situation of the country and transformed the disruption caused by COVID-19 into an opportunity for growth. 7. In October 2022, Nigeria's central bank announced the deadline of December 15 to replace high-value currency notes in a bid to mop up excess cash drain in inflation and target rising insecurity in Africa's largest economy. This came with many unintended pains, suffering and inconvenience and other difficulties leading to popular outcry and litigation in the Supreme Court. The positive side of this is that it led to a massive increase in the use of digital transactions. Digital payments have since then grown and are hitting a new milestone with the ongoing rationing of currency notes by commercial banks. A cashless economy is helpful in ensuring inclusivity, security and other benefits that come with assistance directly to the poor, a scheme touted as the biggest financial inclusion initiative in Africa. His vision was to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years gave the background to the social investment programs. 9. Buhari as president provided the highest energy to infrastructure development since the country's independence: power, rail, roads, bridges, sea and airports, housing and water supply schemes. Nigeria's capital expenditure increased manyfold, enabling thereby record investments in infrastructure. This has improved the speed and gear impacting ease of living and ease of doing business. To enhance the role of states and the private sector, the administration established the Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria, INFRSCO, with a seed capital of 1 trillion naira provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Buhari changed many laws on taxation, not only as they affect goods and services but also relating to individual and corporate taxes to improve the ease of doing business, increasing bilateral trade and enhancing the vision of higher revenues. He strengthened the office of the Auditor General of the Federation and introduced many laws to enhance the war against corruption and the recovery of stolen funds. Such policies as the Bank Verification Number, BVN, the IPPS, whistleblower, some of which took more than a decade to implement, all had their path to fulfillment broken under him. These were among the weapons he wielded against corruption. 10. President Buhari's assent to the Petroleum Industry Act, here on August 16, 2021, broke a 2-decades-old jinx, setting the stage for the unprecedented transformation of Nigeria's oil and gas sector. He fought through the courts in London to reprieve the nation from an unjust $11 billion United States dollars penalty for the breach of the corrupt Reading P&IB contract and recovered for the nation the Ajaokuta Steel Rolling Company from the global steel shillocks who squatted on the giant plant for the years that they held sway. 11. So said that throughout his 8 years in the presidency, President Buhari did his best to redeem the nation's infrastructure deficit, thereby putting Nigeria on the path to becoming a developed economy. He took many decisions without fearing anyone, which earned praise for his leadership from many parts of the world. His popularity went beyond national borders. The Nigerian diaspora flocked him in large numbers wherever he visited. The roars, "Sir Baba, Sir Buhari," echoed wherever he went, at home and in the many countries, signifying not only his popularity but also the love of nation by the diaspora. 12. Buhari defused a bomb under the nation's bed. He knew the corrosive danger to democracy the irresolution of the June 12 crisis posed to the country and didn't hesitate to do what was right, to apologize to the nation for the wrongful nullification of MKO Abiola's election as president in 1993, even though the action was taken by a succeeding administration that kept him in detention, award a posthumous GCFR, the nation's highest honor, to the winner of the election in the overall effects of recognizing him as president, even though he did not take the office. The effects of this on the psyche of the nation and its politics was to produce a thaw in the tension between the North and the South and between the Southwest in particular and the rest of the country. It was worth a Nobel Prize nomination. 13. Beyond politics, former President Buhari is a practicing farmer, an avid reader of newspapers and magazines and a large consumer of TV programs. His preferred clothing brand is the kaftan wear when at ease and the Baba Riga for formal occasions. His preferred dress color, as many would have noticed on his public outings and the TV, is blue, and sometimes white. He undertakes regular exercises. Having given his best to the nation, President Buhari deserves the quiet life he is currently enjoying in Daura. Happy birthday and many happy returns. Views exclusive rights. Garba Shehu, former presidential spokesman, December 17, 2023. Hollywood actor Emeka Ike has explained how his ex-wife, Susan Emma, cost him all his properties and almost ruined his life while he was on his way to America for movie production. Emeka Ike stated this while speaking during a live interview on Robin Minds, Channels TV. Adding, the marital issues got him depressed for a very long time after the woman made him lose all his properties. The Nollywood actor urged men, especially younger ones, to always watch well before reaching a decision to marry a girl. It would be recalled that the Lagos Island Customary Court on the 3rd of March, 2017 dissolved the marriage between Emeka Ike and his wife Emma over alleged incessant battery. My secondary school, St. Nicholas College on CMD Road, Magodo, was shut down. Over 480 million naira's investment shut down that year, and all I had was constant battery. I was always saying, come on, I never beat this lady. I went on her, called her, saying, babe, do I beat you? But then they said, you are a star and they can always manipulate things and all that. Later I discovered that she was actually the one behind the whole thing. You have to be a very successful man to be a woman beater, because no carpenter or poor man is a woman beater, and there are people like Iyabo Ojo to back them up, he added. Facebook user, Evangelist Edo Baba reacted the statement made by Emeka Ike this way. I just finished watching Emeka Ike's interview on Channels TV, and the most powerful thing I took out of all the things he said is, as you are investing on a woman, ensure that she is investing on you too. Emeka Ike married his ex-wife. He cleaned her up, trained her in school, gave her comfort, built a school for her to manage, built a house for her mother in Itoko. She ended up doing him dirty. She closed down his school while he was away on 2 movie shoots in America. After his wife divorced him, he got married to a German-based South African lady and relocated to Germany. He came up to move his kids to relocate them to Germany, and his ex-wife is hiding them from him. Men hardly share their pens. The day YUL Edochie will let us know the reasons why he married another wife. There is going to be an earthquake in our social space. Some guys have been dating a girl since the beginning of this year. They can't count what they had done for her, but they can point to one tangible thing that their girl has done for them. Brothers, if you are in such a relationship, it is time to end things, as this year is coming to an end. Don't enter the new year with such a bitch. When was the last time you see Simi and Faz together? Simi and Faz used to be inseparable before she got married to Adekunle. As soon as Simi got married to Adekunle, the both of them detached from each other. It is important to note that Simi is a feminist, but she knows her boundaries when it comes to marriage despite her stardom. Kings, don't marry a woman who doesn't know the rules of engagement that govern a relationship. Male bestie is an emphatic no.
My secondary school, St. Nicholas College on CMD Road, Magodo, was shut down. Over $480 million naira investment. That year, 480 million naira investment was shut down, and all I had was constant battery. And I was always saying, look, I don't beat this lady, what's going on? I went on air, I was like, come on, I never did. Babe, what's going on? They say I beat you, do I? No, but you're a star, you know, they can always manipulate things and all that. So I was gullible until I discovered that she was actually the one behind this whole thing. You know, some ladies are too desperate for marriage lately, and she actually told me one time that I'm not the marriage type. I didn't understand it. So the young men needs to know that there are plenty of ladies that are not the married type lately, and they're the ones that get you and I first. The good ones don't show the things, the signs that you want to see to want to go to a party with a girl. But these ladies show you everything you want to see, and then when you get into it, that's a lot. So it was depressing to find out that the person you were actually confiding in knows that men were coming to your house and was making calls with them and arranging and discussing this thing. And the resolution was, okay, after it all, blackmail him. I was busy grouping with the blackmail. I didn't know it was much more than that. So it was crazy. My school was shut down. Students were told, go home. This school is shut down. This marriage is shut down. On the same day, I was on air heading for a movie shoot in America. They already knew I was traveling. They were planning it. So I had to do, I was directing a movie, and I was going to act in one of the movies. So 2 movies for J&J Pictures in Maryland. So they knew I was going to be away for a while. So they took their time to plan. So I was on air when she rang the bell. And all the students came out and said, look, I'm shutting down this school right now. You all have to go to your parents, put you in another school. I wasn't waiting for it. I came back home to nothing. My property, my house has been moved. Everything in there, because my house is in Ogodu GRA, where I built my own house. But I was staying close to St. Nicholas College in Magodo, because if a student needs attention, I should be able to wake up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to attend to it and do what I got to do. So they had moved all the properties I have in Lagos. I lost plenty of them, like 80% of my lands, because it was just a bag I traveled to America with that I had just with me.
So the documents for those lands were taken?
People are bidding on my property and I'm looking at it and I feel like killing myself because I can't defend what you don't have evidence to. So it was a planned thing.
So the evidence was taken?
There's no evidence because you came back, they've moved your load out of the house and you can't see any piece, nothing. Your wristwatches, your awards, your pictures with presidents, everything I got as Emeka Ike was gone. It was just that box I went to America with.
By press units, attention of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has been drawn to some insinuation and contrived accounts of the conviction of an internet fraudster, Victor Oki Ode, by Justice Darius Kobo of the Kaduna State High Court on July 21, 2023. Ode, 19, was among 5 undergraduates convicted and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment each after pleading guilty to a 1-count separate charge bordering on internet fraud. The other convicts are Chidebere Stanley Opara, aka Abel Hollywood, Manasseh Sefa Ephraim, aka Felicia Daniels, Chukuka Obina Paul, aka Sean Lee and Enyogu Etim Ebo, aka Henry Wilson, Jasdev 7. In a press release of the EFCC, dated July 11, 2023, the ages of all the convicts, including Odes, were not stated. For the purpose of clarity, Ode is 19 years old. All the false narratives being bandied about in some section of the social media that he is 7 years old should be ignored. The EFCC did not parade the convict and is not a court of law that rightfully convicted him. Facts are sacred. Information about the offense, prosecution, conviction and sentence of Ode is on all social media platforms of the EFCC. The public is enjoined to ignore any hoopla connected to his conviction. Views exclusive rights, Press Unit, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, December 18, 2023. By Femi Babafemi, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and DLE operatives in Lagos on Friday the 15th of December arrested a 75-year-old grandma, Mrs. Sekinat Somekun, for dealing in illicit drugs. At the time of her arrest in Oshodi area of Lagos, quantities of cannabis and liters of codeine syrup were recovered from her. She claimed her son, Shegun, who is now at large, supplied her the illicit substances which she retailed. Meanwhile, a multi-million naira mansion located at K5 to Road 14, Victoria Garden City, VGC, Estate, Lekki area of Lagos used as clandestine laboratory for the production of methamphetamine by a convicted drug baron, Okewa Chris Izewi, has been forfeited to the federal government following his successful prosecution and conviction in court by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Okewa was arrested along with his associates, Sonny Okeuka, on the 30th of July 2022 and subsequently arraigned on 4 counts in charge by FHC L. 527C, 2022 at the Federal High Court, Lagos. They both pleaded guilty on the 17th of July 2023, while they were convicted and sentenced to 4 and 3 years imprisonment each with an option of fine of 4 million naira and 3 million naira respectively, in addition to community service for 4 and 3 weeks each. His vehicle marked EK 496 DJ was equally forfeited to the federal government. To further deny him of enjoying the proceeds of his criminal activity, the NDLEA filed a civil forfeiture charge against the building used as clandestine laboratory at the Federal High Court, Lagos, which initially granted an interim forfeiture order that elapsed on the 6th of December before the final forfeiture on the 7th of December 2023. In Imo, operatives on patrol along Owerri-Onitsha Expressway on Thursday the 14th of December intercepted a wheeled consignment containing cocaine weighing 2.37 kilograms. The shipment coming from Lagos was concealed in cellophane condoms and heading to Port Harcourt, Rivers State. A suspect, Isaac Oko, 45, has already been arrested. No fewer than 10 jumbo bags of cannabis weighing 100 kilograms were recovered from the ceiling of a dealer, Ibrahim Yahaya, 35, when his house was raided in the Tudun Kofa area of Lafia, Nasarawa State on Friday the 15th of December, while he was also arrested at the SAHCO export shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA Ikeja, Lagos. Over 1.5 million pills of tramadol, 225 milligrams, and rohypnol were intercepted in a cargo going to South Africa by NDLEA operative in collaboration with personnel of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. Two suspects, Father Olanrewaju Akorede and Amushon Olufela Sharafedin, have so far been taken into custody in connection with the consignment, which consists 1,050,000 pills of tramadol, 225 milligrams, and 510,000 tablets of rohypnol. At the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, operatives on Friday the 15th of December intercepted a consignment of 1,496 bottles of codeine syrup at a wide area of the city, while its suspect, Ozoma Enoja, 31, was arrested in a follow-up operation. Another consignment of 400 bottles of the same opioid coming from Port Harcourt, Rivers State, was also seized along Abaji-Abuja Highway on Saturday the 16th of December, after which a suspect, Bala Ishaq, was arrested during a follow-up operation at Suba Motor Park. While 17 bags of cannabis sativa weighing 195 points at kilograms stored in a bush at Banke village, or Yomwon local government area, Edo State, were recovered by NDLEA operatives on Wednesday the 13th of December. Anti-narcotic officers in Ogun State intercepted 2 suspects, Edwin Oluwoko and Tunde Elijah, at Alamutu roundabout area of Abeokuta with bags of same psychoactive substance weighing 279 kilograms. In Borno State, NDLEA officers on Tuesday the 12th of December arrested Buka Ali, 29, and Abacha Alhaji Fantami, 20, with 171 kilograms of cannabis at Ugamdu, Kaga local government area, while 3 suspects, Jamilu Haruna, 22, Mohammed Hassan, 23, and Aminu Umar, 50, were nabbed with 57 kilograms cannabis on Wednesday the 13th of Zamfara State, when they were on their way to Zurumi, a village known as Bandits Enclave. At least 4 suspects, Ezekiel Monde Thompson, 56, Hezekiah Ime, 20, Osika Okom Jonah, 39, and Shidi Kalu, 44, were arrested with a total of 121 kilograms cannabis and 5.1 grams of methamphetamine in parts of Cross River State on Monday the 10th of December. The War Against Drug Abuse (WADA) advocacy campaign of the agency continued in equal measure in schools, markets, worship places, and others across the country in the past week. Some of them include WADA Advocacy Lecture for students of St. Margaret High School, Ilesha, Oshun, students of Federal Government Girls College, Shagamu, Ogun, students of Wesley Model Primary and Secondary School, Badagry, Lagos, students and staff of Government Junior Secondary School and Government Girls Senior Secondary School, Yayasa, Sudun WADA Local Government Area, Kano State. While commending the officers and men of the MMIA, Lagos, FCT, Imo, Edo, Borno, Ogun, Zamfara, and Cross River Commands for the arrests and seizures of the past week, as well as those of the Directorate of Prosecution and Legal Services for their diligent prosecution of cases in court, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamawa, retired, urged them and their compatriots across all formations of the agency to intensify the offensive action tempo against drug cartels as the Yuletide season approaches while maintaining an equal balance with their drug demand reduction efforts. Views Exclusive Rights, Femi Babafemi. Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA Headquarters, Abuja, Sunday the 17th of December 2023.